This is the place to be.
Yeah. This is the place to be. Yeah. Innovation Days.
Hello, everybody. This is Morten from Inkish. If you have followed a little bit the last couple of weeks on Inkish TV, you know that I have a lot of guests that are exhibiting at Hoenle Innovation Days in just 1.5 weeks. And I'm so pleased that after a little bit of tweaking calendars, I have the great pleasure of talking to my good friend Volker from Dr. Hoenle. So welcome on Inkish, Volker.
Thank you very much, Morten. Great to see you.
Great to see you too. Dr. Hoenle is, I would say, a relatively large company specialized in a lot of different things. But one of the things that you are working with is, of course, the curing solutions. Tell me a little bit about what you are doing with Dr. Hoenle.
Okay, what are we doing at Dr. Hoenle? As you say, fully right. We are a relatively big company, approximately 700 people, and we have 3 different what we call business units. One unit is a disinfection part, about disinfection of surfaces, etc. The other part is the adhesives, technical adhesives, and the third part, which I'm working in, is the business unit curing. And curing is even not fully correct. It's also drying. It's not only curing.
Mm-hmm. And when you say curing and drying, is it because you have different technologies under that, let's say, that business division?
Correct. And that's funny because you already mentioned it. At Hoenle on the Hunkeler days, on the Hunkeler Innovation Days, even better said, we will again show what we call the entire spectrum of curing. That means we practically have, I mean, it's not a huge show, so it will not be a big booth, but we have on our booth classic UV curing systems with classic medium pressure lamps. This is what we are well known for. Besides that, we will also show the LED UV curing technology, and not only a demo unit, there is also a customer of us, and we are happy about it.
Oh, nice.
Having a machine on the booth just next to us, the company Gramac, where one of our LED UV systems will be running. And the third part, which is also displayed there, is the whole, let me say, area of infrared and hot air drying. This area is very often not known by the market that Hoenle Group is doing that, but we are doing that since many, many years, as well in the industrial applications and also on sheet fed printing. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the core messages for the Hunkeler Innovation Days. We do the whole solutions. We have solutions for water-based applications, for energy-curable applications, and that's what we show over there.
I mean, one of the things that I think must be also great when you work in that area is that you have that diversity of solutions, because basically when you go to either a PSP or converter and need to find the right solution, or if you talk to an OEM, the combination of technology can sometimes be super interesting. And I guess that's one of the value propositions working with Hoenle, right?
This is correct, Morten. I mean, this whole range, this whole spectrum of different technologies. Very often it's a combination of both. This is something which we see frequently, having LED curing as a kind of intermediate drying and classic lamps at the end of a machine. But also the other part, the water-based section, let me call it, plays an important role. And I mean, we are in an industry which has, let me say, a lot of challenges, like, for example, getting rid of PE coatings and replace them by barrier coatings, water-based solutions. Things like that are changing constantly every year, and we are really happy having the possibility, and even more important, the knowledge and the people and the product to serve all those industries, and not just saying, we are whatever the UV specialist or the LED specialist. We can do all. This is the entire spectrum, how we like to call it, and that's what we do and what we will show on Hunkeler Days.
Let's start with the hot air and IR drying, because you say maybe you're not so known for this, But I mean, if we talk about innovation days, where you have a lot of, let's say, print OEMs that are showing water-based solution, that is of course one solution you can choose in order to get up to speed on this one. I mean, are you working with some of the big OEMs in order? Because the reason I'm asking, the reason I'm asking is because I mean, if you look at what happens at Innovation Days, it used to be more transactional data, it started just being black on white paper.
Yeah.
Now it's like full surfaces of a lot of ink, and not just a lot of ink. It also goes very fast, and it also goes on very thin and very thick substrates. All
Correct.
those challenges is something that you have to work with as Hoenle, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely the case. I'm actually proud going to the Innovation Days at Hunkeler, because I joined this event very often as a visitor.
Okay.
Where I was working for in the past, we didn't really show up there too well. Excuse me. And Innovation Days, in the early times, there had been a lot of business forms printers there. So it's funny, I always meet my old customers at Hunkeler Days. And I mean, the shift over to really more sophisticated, colorful, color intense printing technologies, may it be inkjet, may it be conventional, all those things have their different requirements. I mean, this whole, let me say, because you raised the question, are you working with one of the OEMs there? Yes, certainly. Otherwise, we wouldn't show a running LED system. Certainly, yes, but we also do, and this is what often is not known, we often do quite with the major sheet fed press companies, the IR and hot air solutions since many years. It's just not labeled as Hoenle.
Okay.
But
so that basically means that okay, you have a lot of experience in the printing market with hot air and IR. So that is of course something that is not new to you. But I would just return to my question, because I mean, with the faster presses and with more ink coverage, if you look at, for example, the HP 2200, you can buy that in a configuration where you have like 1, 2, 3 drying units depending on what kind of applications you run. If you look at the very, very fast, let's say the Kodak Prosper, they have the ADFOS solution, which is a totally different technology. So I'm just trying to understand Hoenle. Let's say when we focus on the water-based printing technologies, do you have solutions today that can give that, let's say, drying power to fast speed applications?
Let me say the strengths where we are actually in is really high-powered, bigger equipment on the infrared and hot air technology side, not the small units. So for us, going to the Innovation Days is now really also one of the reasons is trying to get a deeper insight. What is really expected from us? What kind of additional solutions, technologies, and do we have to provide? And I'm really confident that we may have a good part already in the portfolio, but just need to actually see where does it really suit and where can it be at home.
It's funny you mention that, because I think I've been talking to maybe 30, 40 people going to Innovation Days now, and it's a quite considerably part of the people that are saying that, okay, we're going to show our technologies, but we're also going to learn from the OEMs, right? And it's like, I think that is one of the things that really makes Innovation Days a fantastic venue. Is basically, it's not just about selling and presenting, it's also about, getting new networks, see what the market needs, learn from both the PSPs, converters, and the OEMs, and that must be, it's almost like a unique place when it comes to that kind of learning, right?
It's a bit of a special place, I would say. I mean, for us, it's even time-wise very suitable, because you may have read this already, but just this week, we officially also launched really an innovation, our new UV dosage measuring device, the UV Scan Max.
Smart, yeah.
If you want, I can say a few words about it now. If not, you can see that on the Hunkeler Days.
Yeah, let me hear.
Okay, let me try to sum up a bit. I mean, we all know UV dosage has a serious influence on how UV inks react. That's clear. I mean, it's actually the energy which counts.
That's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works. And it always had been a big tricky thing to say, how do I judge what do I have in my machine? What do I have in my press? And since many years, you can buy actually this measuring stripes, which you stick on a web or a sheet, whatever, let it run through the system. And they're all changing the color. And this color change gives an indication about the UV dosage. Mm-hmm. And there was always exactly the same problem. All those measuring stripes, whichever brand, even the old ones which Hoenle supplied at that time, had a disadvantage that when they are, stored for 2 months, they are changing their behavior, they are changing their reactivity. So it was not much more than a qualified guess what they did. And we actually are part of a startup company, which is coming out of the Technical University in Dresden. It's a company called Proof. So we have we support them, let's call it. And and they developed a new technology, which is the UV Scan Max, and it's really a physical method where the measuring stripe changes. The whole thing is, excuse me, I have a bit of something right in here.
Oh, I feel sorry for you because I'm drinking coffee at the same time, so I can manage right now, right?
The whole thing is actually based on a photophosphorescent process. That means there is material in the stripe which is reacting on the UV dosage. And to make it simple, what we are doing is you also add this stripe on your sheet, on your web, whatever it may be, pass it through the machine, and you measure it. There are two very, very important parts about it. One thing is each of these measuring stripes can be calibrated prior to the measurement in a very simple way. You place it in, you push that's it.
So you basically have, let's say, a 0 point or an index line that is.
Exactly. If you're coming there, I can show you in detail how that works. And the very important thing is those measuring stripes, it doesn't matter how you store them. I mean, you shouldn't put them in a fire, but
and not in direct sun either, right?
You keep them under normal conditions. It doesn't need to be in a fridge. They are not aging in this way, and you do this calibration. And the second really important part is when we started the development and when we said how we want to have it, the most used measuring device in the whole industry is the so-called PowerPack 2 by the company EIT 2.0, how they are called. And this PowerPack you will find at every ink supplier, every coating supplier. And they are all able to say, measured with the PowerPack, we need a dosage of 450. And the readings of our UV Scan Max is exactly identical to the PowerPack readings. And that sounds like a small thing, but people love it because it gives the possibility to say, I have this dosage in my machine, and I need to have this dosage provided by the ink supplier, and you know you're safe on the UV side or not. And that's a new thing. It looks small, but it's great.
No, it's great because, I mean, basically when I visit, I guess this applies to both LED and to the conventional, or?
At the current stage, we have the first two versions of the stripes, which are more dedicated towards the conventional lamps, and the UV stripes will also follow.
Okay. The reason I just for the audience want to tell you this is because when I visit printing companies, especially I would say the flexo printers, and often when you have people using mercury lamps, is that when you apply ink to your substrate, basically the value of your lamp and the quality of the, let's say, the energy that is exposed from the lamp is basically very important, and that's why you need to be able to measure the quality of the lamp. On the LED lamps, obviously they last for hundreds, if not thousands of hours. But for the mercury lamps, you have to change them from time to time, and therefore you need to be able to measure this so you can make sure that you don't have any, let's say, artifacts when you do your printing. Right? Yeah. I mean that is correct, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And I mean, this is one of really the core, let me say, the core items in order to have product safety in the UV process is UV dosage at the end of the day.
Mm.
And there are many tools in the industry, and a big part of them is just not usable. And
Mm.
the way how we did it, it's extremely operator friendly. Even I would be able to use it. That's a proof.
God damn, man! You can do it yourself, basically.
It must be really simple then, and there is no risk of data loss or anything. The measuring values are just in the unit and are stored there and can be of course also taken out, but it's not
Mm.
it's nothing which requires a person who is extremely well in doing those things. It can be done by every printer or and every helper actually at a
Mm.
machine. And that's
It sounds like
something which we see as really
it sounds like
suitable for
something.
the industry. Yeah.
Yeah. Volker, we're talking also LED UV now, and I'm sorry to say though, but before you started with Hoenle, I didn't know Hoenle at all. But you have experience from UV for many years, right?
You mean the company or me now?
I mean, both. I know you for many years, right? But
Yeah.
I was thinking that as I mean, LED is not 100 years old technology, so obviously everything is new in LED. But I was just thinking that when you look at Hoenle as a supplier to the LED UV market, is that like something you have done for a long time and is very experienced now, or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm certain you will know all the names or the companies where we're in. Hoenle is Hoenle is a very OEM oriented company. So you see out on the market our LED equipment on the leading press suppliers. In the
Okay.
digital printing industry, also in the conventional side, you will see a lot of Hoenle. Even big size sheet fed presses, you will find
Mm.
Hoenle LED in there,
Okay.
and also in the digital printing world.
Mm.
That's one of the things which I had been faced when I started at Hoenle. We are in at so many places, but we are not that visible in the market. And that's something which we are
No.
going to change step by step
Yeah.
by being
But
more
it's
and more present on the shows. It's the Hunkeler Days, it's the International Converting
Shooters and
Exhibition in
yeah.
Munich taking place in March. It's a European coating show. And then, I mean, we are in this industry since
Yeah.
next year it will be 50 years. So
Okay.
it's quite a brand.
But it's funny you say that because and not something I want to talk to too much about. But I was just thinking that it's funny because in the old times when you were a subcontractor to one of the big OEMs, you could live a happy life without even being known. But today, I think that this brand recognition. I don't know if it's the same with you, but I think today that when you buy a press, then you are not buying a press that is necessarily defined 1,000% by the OEM. You can come and say, I want to
Correct.
have this
Correct.
lamp or this lamp or this lamp, and now that brand recognition becomes more
Yeah.
important, right?
Absolutely right. I mean,
Mm.
one of the let me say reasons for not being that visible was maybe that there are Hyundai as a group. There is, for example, the company Altosh Graphics, which you may know. Altosh
Hmm.
Graphics is 100% Hyundai company. There is
I
also
know that company. Yeah.
the company Print Concept UV, for example. I think the whole
Mm.
label printing industry knows my colleague Jürgen Welle very well,
Mm.
but not everybody knows that all this is actually Hoenle.
Mm.
And that's
But that makes sense, of course.
this
Yeah.
is what we
So
are
you have different
also
brand names.
actively
Yeah.
working on to make this understanding in the market better. Who is Hoenle? What's behind all that? And
Mm.
there's a lot behind that.
Mm. So let's look a little bit into the solutions you have, because I mean you have a vast experience in LED UV, and we have met a couple of times at various trade shows in your
Mhm.
past capacity. When you look at the products that Hoenle produces today, is that also lamps that goes into many different types of applications and equipment kind of things, or is it specialized to? You mentioned that it was also the big sheet format printers. Is there like a niche where you have specialized in, or how should I position you guys?
No, not really specialized on one market. I mean, we are doing, as I already said, quite a lot via the Reitoft graphics division into the whole sheet fed industry. This is one of our big markets, but again here, not only in UV, also on the infrared hot air, but also we do the powder spray systems and the powder extraction systems, which more or less nobody knows, but you will find it in every conventional sheet fed press. If we talk about the bigger converging industry, where you do PVC floorings or where you do decorating films, things like this, we also supply the big converting line suppliers, companies like, don't want to mention all the company names that's sometimes not appreciated. For example, on the upcoming ICE exhibition or International Converting Exhibition in Munich, we will show 3 or 4 lamp nitrogen inerted systems, 2 meter wide. That's one of the strengths where Hoenle is really good in. On the other hand, we are starting on the very small equipment with 20 millimeter window only on the LED side. So it's really, it's the full range of curing and also drying in brackets technology for each of the markets where it's really required.
So why should people buy Hoenle equipment?
Why should people buy Hoenle? I would say in a few simple words, technology-wise, it's a high-quality product. I mean, we are situated in, the production as well as the headquarters is situated in a place called Gilching, which is on the suburbs of Munich. Nice place, by the way, with all the lakes surrounding us. We have also the Reitoft graphics in a location here in Kohlberg and another location in Pinneberg, but production is mainly done in Gilching. And being in such a spot, you need to do high quality. You cannot produce cheap, unfortunately, in this region. That means you need to be good or better than the others. So quality is one thing. The second thing is certainly the overall knowledge in the Hoenle group about various applications, about possibilities. It's strong. The people are there since many, many years, and they have the knowledge. And the third thing is also the laboratory, application laboratory. We practically have all the possibilities there, from, let me say, thermal impact things via aging and so a lot of possibilities what you need to have if you are in this area. And we have 2 very skilled people in the lab, which have also very, very long understanding and which are very long present in the market. And we offer this service to our customers. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why, for example, that I also worked a lot since a longer time on the LED curing on big web presses. I mean, we as Hoenle equipped a couple of machines now, main majority is in northern Germany, with a fantastic result. And I asked the customer and said, why did you decide for Hoenle? And he said, Volker, it's so simple. The equipment does the job. The service is great. The support is always there. We have a 24/7 support. We have a division, let's call it, which is called Life Cycle Solutions. If you need help, if you're a customer and you need help, you give a call and you will be connected to a person immediately, no matter if it's Saturday night, Sunday morning, or Wednesday afternoon, or Friday afternoon, which is sometimes a bit of a challenge in Europe. We are there for our customers 24/7, and I think also that is a part which is in the long-term perspective a very important part. Globally organized, we have Hoenle China, we have Hoenle in the US. We are present practically everywhere.
when you go to Innovation Days, are you a little sad that all the OEMs seems to be focusing so much on water-based technology instead of UV technology?
As I'm personally a UV guy, I may be a little bit sad about it, but as we have the infrared and hot air technology, I'm absolutely not sad. It's really the other way around. We are looking forward to it and want to see which direction it goes. I mean, we all know that UV offers a lot on one hand, but also UV is, since ever, always a bit under pressure with different reasons. May it be mercury banning, may it be photo initiators, may it be acrylates, all this stuff. So I think...
But I think, to be honest, that one of the interesting things about LED, and I remember again spoke to one of your former colleagues about this, was that where mercury is in the end of its lifespan, LED is still in the beginning of its lifespan, right? So with more and more accurate frequency control, you can also minimize the need of photo initiators in the ink, making it actually more, even if there are concerns, make it even more a valid production method, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty opinions about it, I would call it, because in every, let me say, technology, you have advantages, you have pros, and you have disadvantages, cons. And the same counts for LED versus lamps. There are advantages, and there are also disadvantages, because the nice thing about a classic UV lamp is it gives a wide spectrum. And that makes it relatively easy for the chemistry to match.
Yeah.
An LED gives a narrow spectrum and you have to match. And it's just more challenging, and certainly specifically what we call the UVC range, the very narrow wavelengths, offers the highest energy level. And this is a challenging part in LED. So we'll see where it goes, and we will also see what, all the regulations, how much impact will we have by availability of photo initiators and stuff like that. I personally believe that both technologies will be there in future. I strongly believe that also lamps will remain for another couple of years, and not only till the end of 2027, because there is a need for it. But it's a little bit like in politics. I think we should not define by ourselves what has to be used. I think the best technology at the end of the day should actually win the battle, or have the big part of it.
Yeah. Well, Volker, it was great talking to you here on Inkish, and I mean, for the audience, I hope you can clearly see why I like talking to Volker, because he knows so much about what he's talking about, and that is the opportunity for you at Hoenle Innovation Days is to go to Hoenle's booth and basically get into even more nifty-gritty details of all the curing and drying opportunities that is offered by Dr. Hoenle. So, Volker, thank you very much for being part of this interview, and I look very much forward to see you in Lucerne in 1.5 weeks.
Yeah, looking forward as well, Morten, to you, and certainly to everybody who is hopefully watching your videos. Looking forward to meeting you in Lucerne. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
And have a wonderful weekend as well.
You too.
Bye-bye.